Hi Rachel, thank you for having me here this afternoon. I just thought it would be nice if you did a quick introduction and talked a little bit about yourself and about the business and what Empower means to you.
Sure. I'm Rachel Miller. I own Empower Physical Therapy in Exton, Pennsylvania. It used to be in Downingtown. We moved to Exton about 4 years ago, and so we went from a 1,200 square foot space to a 3,200 square foot space, and lots of changes took place at that time. So I basically started with just myself. I would even do like the front desk things as well, and then now we've grown to, we have 4 full-time physical therapists and 1 part-time, along with 2 front office staff.
So could you tell me a little bit about the start of your journey, like what that looked like?
I was lucky enough that I was working in kind of a non-competing area out in Lancaster. So I actually worked for a man who opened his own business. And so because I was far enough distance away, I was going to be about 45 minutes to an hour, he kind of mentored me a little bit into certain things to know like what you should be looking for, what you should be looking for financing, things like that. And one of the reasons I did want to branch off into my own is if you've ever been to standard physical therapy before, it tends to be the physical therapist will see you for the evaluation. You will then go to either a physical therapy assistant or somebody else, and then I would end up reevaluating that person again at visit 6. And then at that time, I might not get to do too many of my manual therapy skills. I'm just kind of doing these evaluations and then not really getting to do my true physical therapy of background. And to me, that's not what I wanted to do. I didn't sign up to be a physical therapist to just give out exercises. Our goal is to figure out why they can't do exercises, what's holding them back from a manual therapy standpoint, what's not working, what's happening in their everyday life that might be fueling their pain. And so we treat all one-on-one, and we see the whole patient the whole time. And they stay with one therapist generally, unless it just doesn't accommodate their schedule, then they might see one other of us, but you're with a therapist the whole time.
Can you talk a little bit more about some mentors that you've had?
Greg and Vicki Johnson, their husband and wife team, and they started their own company back in 1978 and started just doing some continuing education courses, and now they've grown into a pretty big physical therapy community. And so I would go and I would take courses, and I was sort of a continuing education junkie. And so I felt like with their paradigm of teaching some of the manual skills and the neuromuscular education and exercise programs, it was just immense. It was really life-changing in how I treated those patients. And I really attribute them with the drive to want to have my own business because I felt so strong in my skill set after having them. And I've been able to go and train a lot of my other staff members in these great techniques, and it helps a lot with patient care and feeling like your patients are empowered, which is the whole goal behind it. So I would say they were very strong mentors.
If you were giving some advice to young ladies that are going to be at our conference and all of the young ladies that we come in touch with, what kind of advice would you give to them?
I think, we all get this thought in our minds, and then we kind of talk ourselves out of it, right? And so I think...
Especially women, right?
Especially women,
it's the old lean-in thing.
Yes.
We don't do it.
Exactly.
We make up reasons why we can't.
Exactly. All these reasons. And so I think it's really important. Like, I have a pretty driven personality, so I can go and I can drive myself. But there's going to be times when you get pushed down and you're going to go up against barriers in funding, when you go to get funding, or in reaching out to a referral source that maybe doesn't want your services. And I think you need to realize you're going to have those ups and downs. And if we get pushed down, you got to stand up, take a deep breath, and dust yourself off, because you're going to have those ups and downs. Just being able to say, okay, I'm going to stay on the course. I want to do this. Let me get everything in order and kind of keep going.
How does that work-life balance that we always talk about?
Exactly.
What does that look like in your life?
So I'm married. I've been married for 17 years, and I have a son who is 11 and a daughter who is 7. And I would say, like,
busy time.
It's busy, right? This is a really fun time though, because they're able to do a lot of fun activities. So that's always tough, that work-life balance, right? So I think, and especially women, I would say we're really bad at guilting ourselves, right? So we feel bad if we don't work, we feel bad if we do work. There's always this sort of heaviness.
What if I'm out? I have to prepare for them first. It's like we got to make this whole schedule up of who's doing what, where, when. And
I luck out. I mean, my husband's very helpful with, we really do manage our schedules really well. We both cook, we both do different things. So we've got that good balance.
But with all the good things we've talked about, you got to share, there's a couple of other little pitfalls that come along the way, right? So what might some of those be?
I think some of the things are probably, you want to market yourself. And I think because I was out in an area where I wasn't here so much, so I had to create new referral sources and things like that. So I didn't know as many of the doctors. So I think I got pulled into a couple like marketing schemes that I probably spent a little too much money on certain things, I would say, early on, that promised this and set up these things and are just very expensive. Like I would say that some of those things you've got to watch out for. Probably spent more in marketing than you really need to, I think. One of the other cons I think we have is probably insurance. It's tough knowing that we do such a good service, and yet people still don't recognize it from
what's making it distinctive and special.
Exactly. Yeah. So I would say that's sort of one of the cons that's still out there. Here, this is my treatment room here, room 2, and so we have the option.
I know, it's nice that they're like spa rooms.
Exactly. So we purposely keep it kind of a little bit that lighter feel, because some people come in with headaches or light sensitive, so you want to have the ability to dim the room. So yeah, they'll come in here, we'll do the evaluations in here, some of the manual treatments in here. We come out to the gym area. We have different things here as far as BOSU, so balance kind of exercises here with the trampoline. And then back in this area, we have our reformers. So have you ever heard of Pilates?
Yep.
So there's mat Pilates, but there's also reformer Pilates. So I did a reformer certification where you can put people into different positions. So there's hundreds of exercises you can do on these machines. So instead of just getting into the one machine for one exercise, this is an ability for us to do things on our back, standing, sitting, all those different kinds of things. And then we have, this is also a core line machine over here. So again, lots of different exercises of a basic equipment that we're able to do a lot with our patients.
So great getting to know you today, getting to know a little bit more about Empower. I love the word, having met you and having seen everything. It makes perfect sense.
It does, right?
It was awesome.
Exactly.
Really great.